Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw Mothra from Godzilla. Let's get started in the center of our page with the beak. So we're going to draw an oval. Start from the top center, curve around towards the left, down towards the bottom. I'm just going to bring that back up on the right side towards the top. Now let's split this in half. We're going to go over to the left side. We're going to draw a curve. It comes down in the middle, and then back up on the right. Now from that center, we're going to draw a straight line coming down towards the bottom of the beak. Now we're going to move out and draw the ridge of the eye. Leaving a gap in the center, we're going to go to the left side. We're going to draw a curve that goes up and then out. We go up and then bend that out. Let's go to the right side and curve in the opposite direction, going up and then out. Let's round out the ends. So on the left, we're going to curve this around and pull that back in towards the beak. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now from here, we want to curve in, around the beak, and then out. So on the left, we're going to curve in, coming in towards the beak. Now we're just going to round this out and pull it out towards the left. Let's do the same thing on the right. We're going to curve in, coming in towards the beak. I'm just going to round this out towards the right. Now from here, we're just going to curve down and then up in behind the beak. So start on the left, curve down, and then up. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. Coming down, and then up. Now we're going to tuck the eyes in behind this ridge. So we're going to start at the very top, we're going to round up the eye, and then pull that down in towards this point. So going out, and then pulling that in. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing in the opposite direction. Curving out, and then in. We're going to add a couple highlight spots in the eyes. Starting on the left side, draw a circle. And we're going to line this up on the right side and do the same thing. And we're going to draw a smaller glare along the bottom. So a smaller circle. Line this up on the right. Now we're going to move up and close off the top of the head. From the left side, we're going to curve up in the middle, and then back down on the right. Let's add that thick stripe along the center of the head. Start on the left, we're going to curve up, and then down. Now we're going to step up and draw that same curve going across. We're going to move up to the top of the head and draw two antennas. Starting right where the ridge meets the top of the head, we're going to curve up, bend this down towards the left. Let's go to the right and do the same thing. Going up and then bend that down. I just want to thicken this up. We start from the tip and we go up a little higher in the middle, then come down on the inside. Let's do the same thing on the right. Curving up and then down. Now let's move to the bottom and draw in the fangs. Right at this point here, we're going to curve down and then in. Go to the right. Curving the opposite direction. Now we want to thicken this up. Starting from the tip, we're going to taper this out and then up underneath the eye ridge. Let's move to the side and draw on the front arms. Starting right where the ridge meets the fang, we're going to curve out, round out the arm, and then pull that in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Curving out, rounding out the arm, and pulling that in. Now again, we're going to thicken this up. Starting from the tip, we're going to taper this, going around and then in behind the head. Let's separate out the tip of the arm. Starting on the outside, we're just going to draw a curve, going up and then down. Now we're going to tuck the body in behind the front arms. So we're going to start on the inside of the left arm. We draw almost like a half circle, curving down in towards the middle. Now we're going to bring this back up on the right side, going out and then up. Let's add some detail to the body. From the outside of the body, we're going to step in, come down, and then curve in towards the bottom of the body. Go to the right side, we'll do the same thing, curving down and in. And we're going to draw some lines going across the body. Starting from the left, curve down, then up. Now we're going to step down and draw that same curve. Now we're going to move down and draw on the thorax. In the center, we're going to step down, start with a point. From this point, I'm going to curve out and then up underneath the body. So we're gonna go out and just pull that up. Let's go back to the bottom, curve out and up on the right side. I'm going to add some detail to the thorax. Start from the outside, we're going to step in, curve down, and then in towards that center point. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to split this along the center. Starting from the left, curve down, and then back up. Let's add 2 more sets of arms on either side. So we're going to start on the outside of this arm, curve out, and I'll pull that in. Now I'm going to taper this back in behind the front arm. Going up, in behind the front arm, and we're going to continue on the inside. Let's take that and flip it over on the right. Starting from the outside of the front arm, curve out, round this out and pull that in. Then we're going to taper that back up, in behind the front arm, and then in between. Now we're going to separate out the tip of the arm with a curve. Now we're going to draw on the last set of arms, right where the body meets the thorax, curve out, and then in. Go to the right, do the same thing. Now again, we're going to taper this in behind the body. Starting from the tip, curve out, and then in. Do the same thing on the right side, going out. It's going to go in behind the front arm slightly. Now we're going to separate out the tip of the arm. Now that we've drawn in the main part of the body, let's go up and draw on the top of the wings. We start right where the ridge meets the eye. Start with a curve that goes up. We're going to bend this out towards the left. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. Curving up and then out. Now from the tip, we want to draw the inside ridge of the wing. Starting out here on the left, we're going to taper this so it gets thicker as you come in behind the eye. Now let's add some stripes along the base of the ridge. Starting on the inside, curve up and down. We're going to draw this 3 more times, leaving an even space gap in between. Now we're going to line up the bottom one towards the right, curve across. We're going to do this 4 times. Now we're going to draw on the outside of the wing. Starting from the tip, we're going to start by going straight down. We're going to bend this out towards the left. Now I'm going to round this out and pull this in behind the head. Round this out, and down. I'm just going to pull this up and in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Start by coming straight down, bend this out towards the outside. Now we're going to round this out and then pull that in. Down, and then up. Now we want to move down and draw the lower half of the wing. Starting from that same point, we're going to curve around the arms, then come down. Do the same thing on the right, going out, and then down to the same height. Now we're going to curve this in and then up in behind the legs. Let's start on the left. Curving in, then up. Now we're going to continue in between the arm and the body, going up. Do the same thing on the right. Curving in, then up. Continue along the inside. Now let's add some detail to the wings. We're going to start on the left side. We're going to draw an oval. Starting from the top, we're going to angle this down and in towards the eye, then back out. Now we're going to trace this oval along the inside. An even space gap all the way around. Now we'll do that one more time. Now we're going to take that oval, flip it over on the right side. So we're going to line this up along the top, curve in, and then back up. Let's trace this along the inside, and then one more time. Now at the base of this ridge, I want to curve out and then down. Now I'm going to curve up and then down towards the bottom of the wing. I'm going to go up and just pull that in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Lining this up, curve out, and then down, and curve up, round this out, and then down towards the bottom of the wing. Now we're going to trace this out on the inside. Stepping in, curve in, down. Now we're going to trace out the bottom, going up, and then back in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Now let's add some detail along the bottom. We're starting on the outside, we're going to curve down, and then back up and in. Do the same thing on the right. Starting from the inside, curve around and then back up. Now on the inside, we're going to draw two curves. We're going to step up, curve down. Now about halfway, we're going to point this up, aiming towards the beak. And from here, we're going to curve back down and then in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Lining this up along the top, curve down. Then about halfway, we're going to point this up towards the beak. Come down again, and then in towards the inside. And then one last thing we're going to do is add a ridge along the bottom of the eye. Starting from the inside edge of the eye, we're going to curve down, taper it out. Do the same thing on the right side, curving down and then out. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Mothra from Godzilla. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send me your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.